What if that perfectly crafted, long, witty text you just spent 20 minutes writing and rewriting is the very thing that's making her lose interest? See you as just another, try hard, and silently kill any real attraction she might have felt for you. But what if the most magnetic and respected men don't use clever lines or elaborate paragraphs at all? What if their secret is a form of Stoic energy, a powerful, counterintuitive way of texting that uses stillness, mystery, and profound emotional control to become completely, utterly unforgettable in her mind? Forget those cheesy pickup lines and cringe-worthy tactics. Today, we are unlocking 5 simple, yet psychologically potent, text messages that will effortlessly bypass her logical mind, ignite her deep curiosity, and make her feel profoundly drawn to your quiet, masculine strength. This will fundamentally change your entire texting game. Let's begin. Have you ever wondered why some guys can send a simple, "Good morning" text and it barely gets a polite one-word reply, while other guys can say something similar and she lights up, her energy palpable even through the screen? It's not about being some kind of poet or dropping cheesy lines like you're auditioning for a romantic drama. It's about learning to communicate from a place that actually touches her emotionally, that connects on a deeper, more resonant level. You see, most guys don't realize this, but the very energy behind your messages sets the entire emotional tone. If your texts are boring, vague, needy, or generic, she just mentally files you away with every other "hey" or "morning" she gets from the countless guys who don't really see her as an individual. But if you understand how to phrase things just right, you can bypass her logic, slip past her defenses, and powerfully anchor yourself in her thoughts before she even finishes her morning coffee. And that is exactly what this video is all about. I'm going to give you 5 good morning phrases that aren't just sweet or clever, they're highly strategic. These phrases are deeply rooted in profound emotional psychology and are inspired by timeless Stoic wisdom, which teaches us that our clear intention and our grounded presence matter far more than our impulsive, reactive words. When you begin to apply that powerful philosophy to your dating life, especially in the seemingly small things like your morning texts, you will suddenly, powerfully stand out in a way she can't quite explain, but she will absolutely feel it. And no, to be crystal clear, this isn't about manipulation or playing childish games. It's about learning to speak in a language that truly connects with the feminine heart, a language of clarity, of calm masculine presence, and of genuine emotional intelligence. Each of these phrases we're about to explore is meticulously designed to accomplish something specific and powerful. Some are crafted to make her feel profoundly secure with you. Some are designed to show her that you're paying deep attention in a world where most people are hopelessly distracted. And some simply, yet powerfully, remind her that she matters to you, not in a loud, dramatic, or needy way, but in a quiet, strong, Stoic way. You don't need to be over the top to become unforgettable. You just need to be intentional. So if you're truly ready to stop sending those dry, boring, good morning texts that go absolutely nowhere, and you're ready to start saying things that will actually move her heart and occupy her mind, then you are in exactly the right place. Let's get into it. Text number 1, the silence after impact text. Let's talk about silence, not the awkward, uncomfortable kind, but the powerful, magnetic kind. Most guys feel this almost unbearable, anxious urge to keep a conversation going at all costs, to never let the ball drop. She sends something vague or flirty, and they immediately rush to respond with something witty, something longer, something enthusiastic, desperately hoping to keep her attention fixed on them. But here's the counterintuitive truth: not replying right away, or even better, replying with something short, intriguing, and then letting it breathe, is sometimes the most magnetic move you can possibly make. Why? Because your intentional silence makes her feel the gap. It gives her mind the empty space it needs to start filling in the blanks. And it will almost always fill them with thoughts of you. And that, my friends, is where the real magic of attraction begins. This type of text usually comes right after she says something that is emotionally loaded, slightly teasing, or subtly challenging. Maybe she calls you mysterious, or she playfully hints that she can't quite figure you out. The typical guy will immediately take that as an invitation to explain himself or to eagerly play along with her frame. But the Stoic-inspired response is completely different. Instead of anxiously leaning in, you confidently pull back just enough. You give her a subtle, confident line that hints at a deeper reality, and then you let it hang powerfully in the air. Something like, maybe some things are meant to stay that way. That's it. No follow-up question, no winking emoji, just presence, calm, and then silence. And the absolute key here is this: you do not text her again until she makes the next move. Psychologically, what you're doing here is tapping into a powerful cognitive bias known as the Zeigarnik effect, the human brain's natural, almost obsessive, tendency to fixate on unfinished tasks or incomplete interactions. By not neatly wrapping things up for her, by not giving her the easy answer she expects, you're intentionally leaving a mental tab open in her mind. She'll keep thinking about what you said, what you didn't say, and most importantly, what you might be thinking. That is how genuine attraction builds in her, without you ever needing to force it or perform for it. So the next time you're tempted to over-explain yourself or to frantically keep a chat going just for the sake of it, try saying less and then powerfully saying nothing. Because sometimes the text that keeps her up at night isn't the one that was filled with your effort. It's the one that lingered in your confident, unbothered silence. Text number 2, the presence over performance text. There is something effortlessly, almost overwhelmingly, attractive about a man who is clearly not trying to impress anyone. A man who is simply, authentically living his life, grounded in his own rhythm, detached from the need for external validation, and who graciously invites you to notice, rather than desperately begging for your attention. That is the very essence of what I call a presence over performance text. And it's something that most guys, in their anxiety to be liked, completely miss. They try so incredibly hard to be interesting, to be funny, or to be charming over text. They're constantly throwing everything they've got into the conversation, almost like they're on a stage, auditioning for her approval. But Stoic men don't audition. They already know they are the prize. This kind of text usually pops up when you've been texting back and forth for a bit, maybe even flirting, and then there's a natural moment when you could either keep feeding the conversation with more and more of your energy, or you could powerfully shift the dynamic. Instead of trying harder to entertain her, you lean back and recenter yourself. You share a small, simple, grounded detail from your own life, not to impress her, but because it's simply what you are genuinely doing. Something like, heading out for a solo hike now. The mountains got better views than my phone notifications today. That's it. No follow-up question, no fishing for a reply. Just a small, confident, and attractive glimpse into your world. A world filled with your own purpose and your own peace. And here's what's happening deep underneath the surface of that simple text. She senses that you're busy living, not just performing for her. She senses that you have a life that is full of meaning and intention. And that whether she's a part of it or not doesn't fundamentally shake your core. That quality is exceptionally rare. That quality is powerful, and that quality is incredibly attractive. You're non-verbally showing her that your time, your attention, and even your words aren't just handed out carelessly to anyone who asks. They are valuable, and they are earned. And instead of trying to pull her in with constant, needy effort, you are powerfully drawing her in with your quiet, self-possessed stillness, because in a world that is so full of guys desperately chasing likes and replies, the man who texts like he's got better, more important things to do, often becomes the very one she can't stop thinking about. Text number 3, the call her out without reacting text. Here's a hard truth that most guys don't want to hear, but that every man needs to understand. Women will, at times, test you. It's not always a conscious or malicious act, but it happens. Sometimes she might flake on your plans. Sometimes she might give you confusing mixed signals, or she might pull back her attention for a bit, just to see what you'll do in response. And unfortunately, most guys fail that test. Instantly and spectacularly, they either blow up emotionally, anxiously asking, "What's wrong? Did I do something?" Or they go completely passive and pretend it doesn't bother them, even when it clearly does. But the Stoic man, he does something entirely different. He calls it out, but he does so without reacting, without emotion, without drama, just with presence, with boundaries, and with crystal clarity. Let's say she cancels plans on you at the last minute. Maybe she ghosts you for a day or two after showing clear high interest. The average guy either sends a guilt-tripping message like, "Wow, I cleared my whole day for you," which just sounds bitter. Or he hits her with sarcastic anger, "Nice, real mature." Both of these are just weak, emotional overreactions, but the powerful, Stoic text sounds something more like this: "All good. I value consistency, so let's try again some other time if it aligns for both of us." That's it. It's short, it's calm, it's completely unbothered. You're not scolding her, you're not punishing her, you're just calmly, confidently letting her know that you noticed her behavior, and that you hold a certain standard for how you expect to be treated. And whether she chooses to meet that standard or not, that's entirely up to her. You won't chase her, but you also won't pretend that flaky or inconsistent behavior is normal or acceptable to you. There's something undeniably magnetic about a man who can set and hold his boundaries without ever needing to raise his voice. Because it tells her that you're not in this dynamic just for her attention, you're in it to see if there's genuine alignment. And if it's not a match, that's perfectly okay with you too. That kind of profound attachment isn't cold, it's deeply respectful, both to her and to yourself. And more importantly, it earns you her respect in return. You are no longer just the guy who will put up with anything just to stay in her orbit. You are the man who can, and will, walk away with his peace intact. And ironically, that is often the very moment she decides she wants to come back around. Not because you begged her to, but precisely because you didn't. Text number 4, the unbothered appreciation text. Most compliments that guys give simply don't work the way they think they do. And that's because most compliments, if we're being honest, come with invisible strings attached. There's this underlying, needy energy, a hidden hope. Please like me back. Please notice me. Please respond positively. And women, with their highly attuned social and emotional radar, can feel that neediness from a mile away. The compliment itself might sound sweet on the surface, but the energy behind it feels like a transaction, like a baited hook. Now, contrast that with a man who gives a compliment, genuinely means it, and then completely moves on without anxiously waiting for or needing any kind of specific reaction. That kind of detached, unbothered appreciation hits entirely differently. It doesn't feel like a trick. It doesn't feel like a performance. It feels real. That's the immense power of what I call the unbothered appreciation text. Let's say she shares something particularly thoughtful with you, or she opens up about a creative idea she has, or she just expresses a side of herself that feels a little deeper, a little more vulnerable than usual. Most guys in this situation would either overdo it with gushing praise like, "That's amazing, you're just so incredible, I've honestly never met anyone like you," which can feel disingenuous. Or they'd freeze up and just say something boring like, "Cool." But a man practicing stoic presence might drop something honest, specific, and unexpected, something like, "I really like the way your mind works. Not many people think that deeply." Then, crucially, he goes back to whatever he was doing. No lol, no extra fluff, no follow-up question fishing for a reply. The message lands, powerfully and with weight, and then he lets it breathe. And that kind of supportive, masculine presence, a presence that believes in her without trying to control her, is incredibly rare and deeply attractive. Those first 4 phrases build a powerful foundation, but the final 2 phrases we'll explore today shift the dynamic from simply building attraction to creating a profound, unforgettable connection. This is where things get really interesting. First, let's complete the thought on our 4th phrase, the unbothered appreciation text. What makes this so incredibly effective is that it mirrors a core Stoic mindset. You give without any expectation of return. You're not trying to manipulate her emotions or strategically earn her attention with your compliment. You're just speaking a simple, authentic truth, and then you walk away from it, metaphorically, without needing anything back. And because that kind of non-transactional appreciation is so incredibly rare in the modern dating world, it leaves a powerful, lasting impression. Studies on communication and perceived sincerity have shown that compliments that come across as genuinely detached from any reward-seeking behavior are significantly more impactful and believable. In other words, when you give your appreciation without needing anything in return, she feels it more deeply. So the next time you notice something real and admirable in her, say it. But say it once. Say it from your calm, grounded center, and then, powerfully, let the silence do the rest. This leads us to phrase number 5, the invitation without chasing text. There's a quiet, immense power in the way you extend an invitation to a woman without desperately needing her to accept it. Most guys get this completely wrong. They think that if they don't make their plans sound like the most exciting event of the year, or if they don't sell it hard, she won't want to say yes. So they hype it up. They say things like, "We should totally do something amazing this weekend. I know this incredible spot. It's going to be the best. I'll pick you up at 8. And underneath all of that frantic, performative enthusiasm is a silent, needy plea. "Please say yes. Please validate me." But when you learn to speak from a place of calm, self-sufficient abundance, when your own world is already full, engaging, and interesting, and she's simply being genuinely welcome to step into it, it changes everything. She feels that shift in your energy. You're not chasing her, you are inviting her. This type of message works best when you genuinely want to see her, but you remain emotionally detached from the specific outcome. You're not begging for her time, you're making a confident, take it or leave it offer. And if she's aligned with you, she will naturally lean in. For example, instead of hyping it up, you might send something calm and simple like, "There's a great little jazz bar I'm checking out on Saturday night. You're more than welcome to tag along if you're free." That's it. No pleading emoji, no desperate question mark at the end. Just a clear, confident statement of what you are doing, and an open, pressure-free door for her to walk through. It's confident, it's composed, and most importantly, it gives her the psychological space to feel like she is choosing you, instead of feeling like she's being pulled or sold toward you. This is classic Stoic energy in action. Purposeful action without anxious attachment to the outcome. You are moving forward in your own life, following your own rhythm and your own plans, and you are graciously offering her a connection as an option, not as a desperate need. And that is incredibly profoundly attractive, because it speaks to something primal within her, the undeniable appeal of a man who is whole and complete. With or without her, yet still graciously chooses to invite her into his world. And when you create that kind of pressure-free space, when you hold back confident, self-sufficient frame, the right kind of woman doesn't just respect it. She actively wants to be a part of it. So stop trying to sell yourself like a desperate salesman. Just live your life fully, make your invitations sincerely, and let the quiet, confident strength of your energy do all the asking for you. And now, for our sixth and final phrase. Number 6, you genuinely inspire me to be a better man. This final phrase might just be the most powerful, most impactful of them all, but it's also the one that you must use with the most care, the most sincerity, and the most discernment. This isn't something you say casually to a woman you've just started talking to. And it's certainly not meant for surface-level, fleeting connections. This is for the woman who has genuinely touched something deeper in you, the kind of woman whose very presence, whose character, whose way of being in the world subtly and consistently challenges you to rise, to sharpen your own focus, to live more intentionally, to become a better man. When you sincerely say this, you're telling her she's more than just attractive, more than just interesting, more than just fun to be around. You're telling her she is, in some way, transformational. You are crediting her with having a positive, inspiring influence on your own internal world, on your personal journey of growth. And that is not something that women hear often, especially in a way that feels grounded, sincere, and completely free of any manipulative intent. This is the kind of phrase that ties directly into the highest Stoic ideal of arete, the relentless, lifelong pursuit of personal excellence and moral virtue. A Stoic man doesn't change himself merely to gain approval or to please others. He changes because his own soul, his own commitment to becoming the best version of himself, demands it. And when he is fortunate enough to meet someone, a partner, who naturally, almost effortlessly, pushes him in that very direction without force, without nagging, without pressure, he has the wisdom and the strength to acknowledge it with both profound humility and unwavering confidence. That is precisely what this phrase communicates. It tells her that her energy, her being, isn't just pleasant to you, it's purposeful, it's inspiring, and more importantly, it shows her that you are paying deep, close attention to the positive way she impacts you. When delivered genuinely, at exactly the right time in a developing, meaningful connection, this line doesn't just create a bond, it elevates the entire relationship to a new, more profound level. It signals immense depth, remarkable emotional intelligence, and a shared desire to grow together, not just to exist comfortably side by side. Say it only when it's absolutely real, not when it's just convenient, and you will leave a permanent, beautiful imprint on her heart that no flirty, superficial message ever could. Conclusion: the Stoic art of unforgettable communication. So there you have it. 6 good morning phrases that do so much more than just say hi. They connect, they make her feel seen, valued, and emotionally safe, and they do it all in a way that's subtle, yet completely, utterly unforgettable. In a world where everyone is rushing to say something clever, something witty, something flirty, you will powerfully stand out by simply being and communicating with intention. You're no longer just another guy desperately trying to win her attention with a barrage of emojis and generic sweet talk. You are becoming someone who speaks with clarity, with calm, and with genuine, resonant meaning. That is what Stoicism truly looks like when applied to love and attraction. It is not a cold, unfeeling detachment, but a calm, steady, powerful presence. You're offering her words that are designed to give her peace, to offer her encouragement, and to build genuine emotional depth. And you're doing this not because you want something from her, but because you genuinely want her to feel good as she starts her day. And that, right there, is the ultimate secret. True, lasting romance isn't found in the grand, dramatic speeches or the over-the-top gestures. It's often found in the small, consistent, thoughtful things that powerfully show her you're different, that you're aware, that you truly listen. So, I invite you to pick one of these phrases, the one that feels most authentic to you in your current situation, and try it tomorrow morning. Watch how she reacts, not just to the words themselves, but to the confident, centered, and intentional energy that you send along with them. And if you found these insights helpful, and you're ready to master the art of communicating with strength and purpose in all your relationships, then I want to give you a very strong call to action. First, like this video if it gave you a new, more powerful perspective on communication. Second, share it with a friend who you think is tired of sending boring texts and needs to hear this message. Third, drop a comment below and let me know if there's a line or a phrase that has worked its magic for you. I read every single one, and I'd love to hear it. And most importantly, subscribe to Stoic Station and turn on all notifications, because this is just the beginning of your journey into more powerful, more intentional living. And hey, if you think good morning texts are powerful, just wait until we talk about the evening ones that are designed to unlock real, deep intimacy. That one's coming up next. Stay tuned.